Today I'm going to show you how to draw literally anything. And no, you do not need to be a professional artist. You do not need perfect linear art. You do not need expensive brushes. And you definitely do not need talent. The biggest secret to drawing is honestly way simpler than people think. Everything you see around you is just shapes, 2D shapes, and 3D shapes. That's it. And once you learn how to simplify things into shapes, drawing suddenly becomes way easier. So in this video, I'll show you the fastest way to draw almost anything using simple shapes. And by the end of the video, I'll prove it by drawing random objects and characters. So let's start. Part 1. Why most people think they can't draw. Most beginners try to draw details immediately. They start with the eyes, the hair, the tiny details, the textures, and then after 5 minutes, the drawing looks weird. Why? Because they skip the structure. Professional artists are not secretly drawing magic. They are just simplifying complicated things into basic forms first. For example, a head is basically a sphere, the neck is a cylinder, the torso is like a box, the arms are tubes. Even complicated characters are secretly made from simple shapes. If you can draw circles, cubes, triangles, cylinders, then you can eventually draw almost anything. And honestly, most artists are just stacking shapes together. That's literally the secret. 2D shapes. Let's start with 2D shapes first. 2D shapes are flat. Almost every object can be simplified into these. For example, a face can start with a circle. A phone is basically a rectangle. A cat can be simplified into circles and triangles. And here's something really important. Your first sketch does not need to look good. I think this is something that scares beginners a lot. They think the sketch needs to already look perfect. But sketches are supposed to look messy. Even professional artists make ugly sketches. The goal of the sketch is only to understand the shape, not to make a masterpiece immediately. So don't focus on perfection. Focus on understanding the form. For example, if I want to draw this object, I first ignore all details. I only ask, what shape is this? Circle? Rectangle? Triangle? That's all. Once you learn this, drawing becomes less scary. Now this is where drawing really changes. This is honestly the biggest thing that improved my art, because real life is not flat. Objects have volume, depth, perspective. So instead of drawing a flat circle, think of it as a sphere. Instead of a square, think of it as a box. Once you start thinking in 3D, your drawings instantly feel more real. For example, a human head is not a flat emoji. It's a sphere. The arm is not 2 lines. It's a cylinder. And this helps you understand. Lighting, shadows, perspective, rotation. A lot of people ask, how do artists draw characters from different angles? This is how they understand the 3D form underneath. Even animation studios simplify bodies into boxes and cylinders before adding details. So if your art feels flat, you probably need to practice seeing objects as 3D forms. The fastest way to practice. Now let me show you the fastest way to improve. And honestly, most people make practice way too complicated. You do not need to spend 10 hours drawing one eye. Instead, practice simplifying. Take random objects around you. A bottle, a chair, your phone, a shoe, and try turning them into simple shapes. That's it. Don't even focus on details at first. Once your brain learns how to break things into forms, drawing becomes much faster. Another super useful exercise, draw over references. Not tracing details. I mean drawing shapes on top of references to understand structure. For example, sphere for head, box for torso, cylinders for arms. This trains your brain to see structure automatically. And eventually you stop panicking when drawing complicated things. Why your drawings look off. Now sometimes people know shapes, but the drawing still looks strange. Usually the problem is proportions. For example, eyes too high, mouth too low, body too small, perspective inconsistent. This is why guidelines are important. And no, using guidelines does not mean you're bad at art. Almost every artist uses them. Guidelines help keep things aligned, especially for faces. For example, I use lines to place eyes, nose, mouth, jaw. Without them, everything slowly starts drifting. And suddenly your character looks possessed. So don't skip construction lines. They save lives. Drawing random things to prove it. Now let's test this. I'll try drawing this rabbit using only simple shapes first. So if you think, I can't draw, You probably just haven't learned how to simplify things yet. Because drawing is not magic, it's observation, shapes, and practice. And the best part, you do not need to become a perfect artist overnight. Just start looking at things differently. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," ask, "What shapes make this?" That one question changes everything. If you want more videos like this, subscribe and comment something random for me to draw using shapes. See you in the next video.